Conversations with Marc and Devi, the mediums. Marc Stuart, the Scottish medium, and Devi Wolf, the smallest medium. Conversations on topical subjects. On subjects other mediums would not dare talk about, but we do. For a quick reading, we can talk to spirits now. Scottish style mediumship.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Excuse my dog barking in the back.
The dog is barking in protest because she's got a new cat.
No, the dog is barking because my husband just came home.
Well, same thing, is it not?
My husband is not a kitten.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you have got to beg her to show you the kitten. It is the cutest thing you've
she's adorable, but I don't know where she went. Nixie. Come here, Nixie. We'll see if she shows up. Then okay. I'll show you the cat.
So, without wasting any more time about being nice to Devi, which I refuse to be for the rest of the meeting, today's talk is Churches, Covens, and Capitalism. How did spiritual women move from pariah to priestess? And Devi and I can't, well, you can see I'm being really nasty tonight because Devi and I can't even agree on a simple, absolute simple thing. What's the difference between Wicca and witchcraft?
There is a big difference between Wicca and witchcraft. If anybody who's Wiccan or a witch or a pagan knows, Mark can't get it through his thick head.
But my point is, it doesn't matter. They're all undiscovered mediums.
No, they're not. Most witches I know are not mediums, and I'm sure I know more than you know.
We'll get back to that point later. But before we do that, let's have, you know what? It's our exciting
news.
Okay, so tonight's news begins with the good news. I'm back from Ireland, and so is my wife.
Yay.
While we were there, I kind of went mega famous.
Hardly. Now, you went viral.
Okay, well, so is it not the same thing?
No.
138,500 people looking at a video that I put up.
That doesn't mean you're famous. It means you're infamous.
Okay, it's the same thing.
Especially that video. It made him look kind of really bad. It did.
It's actually quite it's hilarious. We've got, in case you don't know it, we've got a TikTok channel. So if you don't, we'll give you all the links later, but go and join us. Please follow us on TikTok.
And then you can go back and look at the controversial video. And then the one that they posted, that he and his wife posted to explain it.
So, yeah. Basically, the two of us are overweight. And I mean that. My belly sticks out by about 6 inches. And my wife looks as though she's pregnant. Literally. Now,
you just did it again.
Yeah, that's not what I said in the video. That's her words, not mine. And the two of us make fun about it. And my wife is trying to get me to do exercise, and she's really tough about making me do exercise. And she's way ahead of me. Anyway, cut the story short. The two of us are at the Guinness Storehouse. Now, if you don't know Ireland, and if you know anything about Ireland, you know Guinness. This is where Guinness started, and it's a big public PR tour, all the rest of it. So the two of us are sitting down, and she's eating 2 Guinness cakes. Now, these are literally shaped like Guinness pints. And I've started filming to put up wee short videos about our holiday in Ireland. I can't remember what she said, but she said something like, I need to go on a diet. And I started filming her, but I missed her saying it. And then she's eating the cake, and I say something while she's eating the cake. And then I say, my wife is supposed to be on a diet to be making herself pretty for me. And
which is horrible, sexist, patriarchal, and just plain mean.
It's none of the above.
But it wasn't because he was being sarcastic. But it didn't come off as being sarcastic.
Anyway, we post the video, and a couple of hundred people see it, and they all start typing nasty things about me. And then 100 becomes 200, becomes 400, becomes 1,000, becomes 2,000, becomes... I mean, we got to the point where the two of us were going around a tourist event. I would take the phone out, and we were at 125,000. We'd have breakfast or a cup of coffee. We'd get up, and we were at 128,000. I mean, we were literally going up 3 to 5,000 every half hour. The last time I looked, and it's been a few days since I looked at it, it settled at about 138, 139,000. Now, I was inundated. Now, I have never seen people post comments like this in my entire life. My wife looks a lot younger than she is.
Oh, I
And
certainly have seen a lot of comments like that. Yeah.
well, I haven't. And I'm beginning to look a bit older than I actually am. I was 60 I was 60 about 3 weeks ago, and I'm beginning to look 60. So when you see the two of us together, it's very easy to come to the impression that she's 20 or 30 years younger than me, and she's not. She's 10 years younger than me. So we were getting really nasty comments like, "You're married to an Asian woman will put up with anything." And where did you buy your bride? Comments like that. Comments aimed at me. You haven't cleaned your teeth. Now some of people,
Most of the people were calling him an ass, though, for saying that
yeah,
about him.
but they were doing it in ways that was inappropriate. If they don't like the video, that's fine. I don't mind people saying it's a
No,
bad
that's
comment.
just what people do on social media, Mark. You can't help it.
Yeah,
That's
well,
why
anyway,
you try not to post things that make yourself look bad.
yeah. Anyway, we posted up another
Anyway,
video. Yeah, we posted up another video saying, and she's laughing and just making fun of herself. She's saying, "I need to go on a diet," and all the rest of it. So go join us on TikTok. Watch the two videos so you can see the balance between the two and understand the first one. But you will be helping us out because if you follow us on TikTok, we want to live stream on TikTok to do readings, but we can't do until we get to a certain number.
we
We
need
are
1,000
currently,
followers to just follow, and then we'll be able to do live readings on
yeah,
TikTok. Won't they be
we're about
fun?
10 people. We're about just one or two people short. We're about 88, 89, something like that, because I haven't looked at it for a day or two. We've got a long way to go, so go and help us. Go and follow us on TikTok. Right, so that's the first bit of news. Second bit of news, while we were there, and you may or may not realize that I am developing a new style of reading.
Ooh, the White Walker.
Yeah. Cut a long story short, we were at the movie studio store, the studio where they filmed Game of Thrones. The two of us are huge Game of Thrones fans, and we got our photos taken and complimentary videos made. And there'll be a whole bunch of adverts of me and Ying standing in various scenes with fire and walkers and dragons, and so watch out for them.
Yes,
The next event that we're doing is on Sunday, Cards with Mark, and in the same theme of strong women, feminism, and all the rest of it, we're doing Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Why wouldn't you do Game of Thrones? Oh, you already did Game of Thrones, didn't you?
No, I haven't done Game of Thrones. I'm saving Game of Thrones till the next theme, which will start in a month's time, and that's going to be Celtic.
There's a lot of strong women in Game of Thrones. I mean, Arya is the heroine
as well. Yeah, true. Right. But I want to save it till we do Celtic and magic and
okay.
Because that's all linked together.
So let's talk about magic then. Or do you have more news?
But the news out there, but the news isn't finished yet.
Go ahead. I missed something then. I don't know the news. I forget it.
I can't remember what else the news was going to be.
I don't think.
Yes. The network page is being rebuilt, so please go and have a look at the network page. Now, what do I mean by the network page? markstuartmedium.com/network. It's where, we put the logo up, the Marc Stuart Medium Network. It's where you'll find everything: YouTube, TikTok, Telegram, etc. Okay, so that's enough. Let's get back to talking.
Okay.
Right. So, where do we start?
What is the main topic? And we can't agree on the main topic. So he doesn't know what witchcraft is. He thinks it's Wicca. So I don't know how we get further than that. Wicca is a religion created in the 1950s by a Brit named Gerald Gardner. Witchcraft goes back thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years, probably to prehistoric times.
Okay, fine.
It's completely different. It's not a religion.
What does Wicca believe in?
Wicca? I don't know. I am not a Wiccan. They believe in a god and a goddess. And I don't know. I'm not Wiccan.
Okay, well, let me tell you what the definition is.
The definition of Wicca?
Yes. Let me just bring the
A
page up.
religion created in the 1950s by Gerald Gardner based on what he thought were ancient pagan principles that he mostly made up. But of course, Mark's going to check with ChatGPT.
There you are. And it says just about the same thing, but it also says that it's magic.
But not all, most Wiccans, not all Wiccans are magic. Wicca has nothing to do with magic.
Yes, it does.
It does not, Mark. Don't
Witchcraft
you
and
believe
Wicca
me?
are
Okay, I have been pagan for over 40 years. I learned Wicca at the very beginning of my path because that's what was available. I don't like organized religion, so I left.
Witchcraft and Wicca are closely related yet distinct concepts in the realm of magic and spirituality. Witchcraft broadly refers to the practice of magic, which throughout history was often feared as a malevolent sorcery, while Wicca is a specific modern pagan religion that emerged in the mid-20th century and whose adherents call themselves witches. This report
No, they don't.
compares witchcraft and Wicca
Not
across several
all
dimensions.
Wiccans are witches.
I didn't say they were all, I just said many of them call themselves.
ChatGPT says that.
ChatGPT searches the internet.
But the internet has a lot of BS on it.
Yes,
especially about witchcraft.
But it has a lot of good in it. Somewhere or other, it has found a page about Wicca by people that are Wiccans. So it's taking it from that, or it's gone to Wikipedia, which is nothing
how
to
do
do
you
with
know?
it.
Maybe it found it on Wikipedia.
Maybe it is.
How do you know it was made by Wiccans?
Wikipedia is probably one of the most trusted sources of information on the internet.
That anybody can write. And a lot of it turns up false.
And it all gets corrected. That's the whole point of it. It's self-correcting.
Perhaps. When somebody sees it. When somebody sees it and notices and decides to do something about it. But the false information can be up there for weeks or months.
Okay, but the real information eventually gets updated and corrected.
Anyway, but how do you know that when you ask ChatGPT to do this article that the good information was up there? You don't know that.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, whether they believe in witchcraft, whether they call themselves Wiccans, they both believe in magic. Would you accept that?
Most Wiccans believe in magic. Not all.
Okay. Most Christians believe in God, but not all Christians believe in God either.
All Christians believe in God.
A lot of people call themselves Christians that aren't.
Well, then they're not Christians because that's the basis of Christianity.
Okay. Most people that believe in God believe in Jesus, but there is a significant minority called the Jews who do not believe in Jesus as the Son of God.
Well, they're not Christians, but yes.
Okay, but they all believe in God, the same God.
Mm-hmm.
So they're different religions, but they believe in the same Old Testament.
The same all-powerful being, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I would say that Wiccans and witchcraft, if you treat that as a belief, are very similar.
Because witchcraft is not a religion. And you're comparing apples to oranges.
No, I didn't say it was a religion. I said it was a belief.
It's not a belief. It's a craft that you learn and practice. Yes, it's like playing the piano.
So is mediumship. We train people to be mediums, and it's a very difficult skill to learn. Everybody is a medium. Everybody has mediumship. Oh, let me rephrase that. Everybody has the ability to receive messages from spirit. You accept that?
And everybody has the ability to do witchcraft. Most people, not everybody, most people.
Okay, and most people have the ability to do mediumship. So there's the starting point.
Okay, we agree on that.
Right. So my next point is, regardless of whether you call it Wicca, regardless of whether you call it witchcraft, Wicca and witchcraft believe in a practice of magic.
Can you just call it, here, do me a favor, Mark, call it paganism instead of Wicca, and then we're on the same page.
Okay, paganism. Whether it's witchcraft or Wicca, pagan is an umbrella concept.
Sorry, I just got interrupted. But he's wrong, of course. Whatever.
I'm always right. I'm always right.
He's
I've got
he's
witch.
he's, he's just very stubborn. So I apologize to all you pagans out there, and you witches, and you Wiccans who know that it's different than witchcraft. And I apologize to all of you for Mark. Okay, let's move forward.
And I withdraw the apology because I know I'm right.
He's not.
Anyway, okay. Right.
Just because Chat GPT says it is doesn't make it right.
We're getting distracted from the subject matter.
Yes, let's move on.
Okay, so here's a very simple fact that most people don't know. In Scotland, historically, we executed more witches per head of population than any other country in the world. Full stop. That's a historical fact.
True.
Okay, now here's another historical fact for me. Here's a current fact for you. Done the calculations, I can prove this. Scotland has, hang on, let me get the numbers up so that we know what we're talking about.
But you can guess.
So that I'm not quoting the wrong numbers. I should have had this up. Apologies, folks. Right, here we go. So, population of Scotland is 5.4 million. Population of the UK is 68.2 million. Population in America is 335 million. The number of people in Scotland per spiritualist church, or per million people, there are 32.4 spiritualist churches in Scotland. There are 10.3 in the UK. There are 0.9 in America.
Right. So, we don't have spiritualist churches here as a general rule.
Yeah, exactly. But if you take that as a religion, if you take that as a measurement of spiritual activities, Scotland is 3 times higher than England, which is the majority of the population in the UK.
You didn't count pagan churches.
I'm not counting pagan churches. I'm being specific on spiritualist churches.
Spiritualist churches. Okay, spiritualist.
I've got a different point to analyze here.
Yes. Spiritual means different things to Mark and I. So, yeah.
I'm not talking about. Let me explain.
He's talking about spiritualism. There you go.
Okay, so you'll accept that Scotland is 32 times more spiritual based on the number of churches than America, and 3 times more spiritual based on the number of churches than England. And what I'm talking about is location.
Spiritualism, not spiritual.
I'm talking about spiritualism as a religion.
Right.
Mediums work spiritually. That's what I mean, very specific. I'm not talking about spirituality. I'm talking about organized, get up and give them evidence. And I would even go further than that. And you know what I'm talking about because you agree with me here that what we're comparing it to in America doesn't even light a candle to what they would do in England, and doesn't even light a candle. You've never been to a spiritualist church in England. But even the English churches don't light a candle to what we do in Scotland. And you know I'm right because you've seen it.
I've seen enough to know. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So go back to my previous statement. Scotland, let's just call it murdered more witches per head of population than anywhere else in the world.
But they weren't witches. Most of them weren't, I would guess.
A lot of them were.
A lot of them were healers and midwives.
Yes. Okay.
And they were considered witches.
Yes. Okay. Take away the witch logo. We murdered more predominantly women than any other country in the world who did anything that was considered witchcraft, magic, healing. And remember, spiritual healing is real. So if you...
Well, any kind of healing is, yeah. I mean, it was any kind of healing. Midwives were murdered, yeah.
Any kind of magic, any kind of... Now, I mean, a lot of people were got rid of because envy, because they didn't like each other.
Yeah, and healers weren't magicians. They weren't witches. They were herbalists and midwives. Yeah. So, yeah.
But in that number, there's two facts I would draw from that.
Okay.
Number one, a lot of them were mediums without realizing they were mediums. They were practicing magic, and their magic was based on getting readings, reading people, putting spiritual energy out there and having an effect.
I disagree. What, you're
which
making that up?
no, I'm not.
You have no proof of that.
Okay,
None at all. That all those people executed for witchcraft were mediums. You have not
I
all of
didn't
them.
say that.
You didn't say all. You said many.
I didn't say that. I said within that huge number, there must have been people that were mediums that didn't know
Oh,
they
of
were
course there were
mediums.
some. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and since it was such a big number, there would be a bigger, even if the proportions were the same. Even if the same number of midwives in England or America were murdered because they were witches, and the same proportion were murdered because they said, I saw your sister who died last week and she's got a message for you.
My neighbor's cow died. Yeah. That's okay. What it was in America, at least.
Yeah. So take those two facts. Why? Because Scotland is a much stronger. We're getting sidetracked.
We are. Let's talk about capitalism, because we haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah. So that's the latest in evolving of mediumship.
The witch aesthetic, all right, is very popular now among people who are non-witches.
Yes.
And people are making money hand and foot. And I have lots of opinions on that.
And especially in mediumship. And I'm not talking about mediums that call themselves witches. I'm talking about mediums that do tarot cards, because I define tarot. And
you mean witches who do tarot cards?
Yeah. I'm not let's be clear about this. Let's be clear about this. I'm not talking about reading cards spiritually. I'm talking about putting the cards out and reading the pictures on the cards from the manual.
As divination. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Reading it as reading cards is divination. Yeah, there's a lot of witches who do that. Or some other form of divination, yes.
Yeah. And there's a lot of mediums that put turbans on their head or have crystal balls, and
I can put a turban on my head, and I do have crystal balls.
So do I, actually, tucked away.
Yeah, I've got one. I've got a couple of them.
So, I mean, getting back to the point, the general theme that we've been doing over these 3 months is that spiritualism is the new feminism. So is witchcraft, because that goes back thousands of years, as you've already said when you were shouting at me.
It does.
So is this upsurge in witchcraft, whatever form it comes in, whether it's a medium pretending to be a witch, or whether it's a witch trying to con you to lift a curse that she just put on you over the telephone, or
who isn't really a witch, they're just a con artist.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're not talking about real witchcraft. We're talking about people's perceptions that they're susceptible to somebody doing that to them, or whether they think they can do it and do it successfully. There's still an increase in number of people doing it.
Yes, a lot more scams of people doing it. A lot more than there used to be in the last 10 years. Now, there's some good things about it. Like, I can find myself a pair of pentacle socks pretty easily. And that's kind of cool for those of us who've done this for 40 years and you couldn't even find a necklace. So that's kind of cool in some ways. But in other ways, it still upsets me to have young teenage girls with all the aesthetic doing pictures in the woods with a crystal ball and a skull when they're not even witches. They just like the aesthetic. It's a little goth or something.
Yeah, but that's the same as somebody that pays $40 for an online. I mean, Devi and I, earlier this evening, we came across a website. I'm not going to mention them because I'm not here to belittle anybody, but it's a website running a mediumship training course for $100 where you watch a video. I mean, we have actually come across people that have done courses like, whether it's that specific course or whether it's courses like that, and they come in and tell us, I'm a qualified medium.
Right? But how on earth do you practice mediumship from a video?
Because you've got a piece of paper.
Learn mediumship. You have to practice it and get live feedback.
But you've got a piece of paper that says you're a medium.
I can write myself a piece of paper that says I'm a medium. I'll be certified.
It's an internationally recognized qualification that you're getting.
Well, that's fine. I can still write myself that certification. Anybody can make a certificate.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to put myself forward here, but it's a basic fact that as a medium, I have two key skills. Number one, I can stand on a stage and I can do mega numbers of short readings. And number two, I can take anybody, well,
Almost
somebody
anybody.
will come forward, somebody will come forward that I can't work with, but I can take just about anybody in a 2-hour circle, development circle, and I can get them to give a realistic evidential message. And
And that's
I
true.
can and I can take somebody. I mean, I did it last circle we did. I can take a medium, in inverted commas, that's been doing everything wrong, and I can turn them upside down, pull them apart, and put them back together again, and say, do it this way, that way, this way. Like that woman that had the video back screen, and she was missing all the evidence of the hands and
Yes, yes,
whatever.
yes.
So that's not easy, and there are not many people that can do that, seriously. So to think you could learn what I would do with you without the feedback on a video is total and utter insanity.
Even if you're a great medium, and I'm a good teacher. If you're a good teacher, you can. It doesn't matter what you're teaching as long as you know the subject. I would never. I'm a good teacher, but I'm certainly not going to pretend I'm as good as Mark. I mean, he's just
Yeah,
had
you
more
heard it. She
experience.
said she's not as good as me. I want that quoted. I want hold that in
Well,
gold.
wait,
I want
wait,
that
wait,
in
wait,
mind.
wait, time out, time out. Most of the time, I'm better than everything, except for perhaps teaching mediumship. There we go.
Or getting on stage when I did try to drag you up.
Oh, you did, but I was sick, so stop.
Oh, and I knew there was something else I needed to do in the news. So bear with
Uh-oh.
me for 2 seconds. I knew there was something I'd completely forgotten about. If you want to get on a plane and fly to Scotland, not looking at anybody in particular, or if you are in Scotland, so this is really anybody that's watching that's between now and Friday night who is in Scotland, let me show you a little building in a place called Auchternuki.
Ooh,
I am
that's a
working
great
there
church.
for charity live. You can't watch this online. It is going to be recorded on video, and I will broadcast the video after the event. When I broadcast the video after the event, there will be a link in it for a charity. This is a charitable event. They're trying to raise money for a local girls' organisation to do twirling bats. Don't ask me why they need
Batons, you
this.
mean?
Sorry?
Batons?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They're trying to bring American culture to Scotland. I'm talking myself out of doing this now.
I did it. I twirled a baton as a young child. I was a young girl. So yes, I get it.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a charitable event. I'm going to be live. Be there for 6:30. I think there's going to be other mediums there, but I've got star billing. I've got star billing. I've got star billing.
The star. I'm the star.
There you are. That's twice. That's twice she's done it.
Now I was just making fun of him.
I know. Seriously, folks, it's for charity. Tickets are £10, so that's about $12.50 plus a couple of $1,000 for the flight and the accommodation to come over.
Right,
And
right. I don't think I can get there that quick, but yeah.
I will put the video up, and I will ask for a link for the charity when I put the video up. So watch out for that on my main page and website.
And please do
click
donate
on
if you can.
and donate to these young little girls. Okay, so I think that's us just about at the end of the half hour.
That is about the end of that, isn't it?
Yep. So let me just run through the usual. Let's get rid of that. Now, this is the page that I said was being rebuilt. markstuartmedium.com/network. Everything I'm about to tell you about, you will find there. You will
However,
find
there's a typo in that link. It says Marc Stuart Medium.
Oh, you're right.
So there's an E in there.
Let me just correct that. She's like this all the time.
I am.
And she comes back and says, "No, Mark, you need to change it and change it."
I did. I saw a sign today on the way to the doctor that said, what does it say? Wages of sin is death. And the first thing I thought is, our death. That's just wrong. It's my inner English teacher.
Okay, if you'd like to hear from us in a newsletter, then sign up here. Now, word of warning, we're probably going to phase the newsletter in its current format out very soon. Do it less often and do it more like a magazine, like a PDF magazine. Because the newsletters are coming out too randomly, and it's tending to be notifying people about events. So sign up for it for that. But probably in about a month to 2 months, when I get the time to do it, it's going to become a magazine from a newsletter. Alternatively, go and subscribe to us on YouTube, Scottish Medium, or follow us on Facebook. There's multiple Facebook pages, and you'll find the links on the network page on the website. If you would like to get some real training, a real experience about it, sign up here. But roughly speaking,
next open circle is the first Sunday in July.
Yes,
6th,
I think it's the
right?
first Sunday in July.
Is that right?
Oh, don't ask me. But
at 6 or 7.
It's on there's two dates for July. Click there, and you will basically be able to register for one of them coming. And Mark and his cards already mentioned this Sunday. Go to Facebook events and you can register for it. It'll be streamed live in all the usual places. And what's special about it? Well, I do my card readings so you can with 3 cameras. Camera number 1 looks at the cards. Camera number 2 looks at me and superimposes me on the cards. Camera number 3 is looking down at me dealing the cards. So you can actually see the cards being dealt, then you can see the card up for the entire duration of the reading, and you can see me talking as well. Big but though, if you want a reading, you have to be on video and you will be streamed with the event.
Yes.
So if you're camera shy, like if you're bald and wearing big glasses and don't want the world to see you,
I'll be here with my mask on.
or if you want to meet the woman with the brown paper bag over her head,
that's me.
Devi will be there. She hasn't been there for the last 2. She keeps promising.
I missed the last 2. I had stuff going on, but this Sunday I think I'm free. Knock on wood.
Good. Now remember that if you are following us on Facebook, all the videos that we stream on Facebook get deleted after 30 days. We stream a lot of material, so follow us on YouTube. And please, if you go to look at us on YouTube, follow us. Build up the numbers, because the numbers don't build up. Lots of people are looking, but very few people are following. And if you don't follow us, the algorithms don't promote us. And if we don't get promoted, we're not meeting enough people, and I'm going to get more and more annoyed.
And he'll get really annoyed. So yeah, and I don't want to deal with that. So just hit like.
Yeah. Now, while I was away, we stopped doing things, but my activity went like that. And Devi was taking part as well. And we do that in the Telegram group. So go search for my Marc Stuart Medium training on Telegram, join the group, and it's interactive. So, for example, this Saturday, you and I will be out filming somewhere for one of our videos, and that's the walks on Sunday that get posted. Oh, by the way, I've got about 15 hours of video to edit for walks on Sunday.
Dear, from all his trip. Yes, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to show you. Anyway, so I'm out and about, say it's Saturday, you'll get a short video. You won't get the video that's going into the video. You'll get me saying, right, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. There'll be a blog entry coming out soon. Those numbers I was quoted are part of a blog entry. The link for the new blog entry will get posted. And we asked people to give us feedback. So we had somebody talking about wanting to do training, and you can then jump in and ask questions that we'll answer. We won't train you in the Telegram group, but we will talk to you instead of ignoring you and just sending stuff in the mail to you. And if you want to go and see all the TikTok nonsense, please go and have a look. But remember, follow us, because the more people that follow us, the quicker we can build up and get to that 1,000, that big 1,000 where we can live stream there. Alternatively, when we do live stream, you can watch us on Facebook or YouTube or wherever it is that you're watching us today.
Right.
I think that's about it, Debbie, unless you've got anything
That
else.
should be it. I think that's it. Follow us on all the places.
Yeah, just remember, go to marcstuartmedium.com/network. Everything you need to find, you'll find there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm exhausted. I still haven't recovered from driving 6 hours. Actually, was it 8 hours?
He's been tired all day, so yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to end it there. So it's been a pleasure as ever, everybody. Good night.
Good night. See you next week.